Welcome to Dharma Dialogues, a children's podcast series on the Yaksha Prashnam, a wise and wonderful dialogue from the Mahabharata. Just a little something to keep in mind as you listen to these stories. We tell these stories to spark reflection, not to give strict answers.
These stories are told with love and respect from the Hindu tradition, with guidance from elders in our community. Anyone can listen, learn, and even interpret the stories in their own way. All we hope is for young minds to grow in curiosity, courage, and compassion.
As we are learning and growing with you, any mistakes along the way are completely unintentional. Please feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions or feedback.
Now, on to the episode.
Hello again, little ones, and welcome back to our little clearing in the forest. We are now at episode 6 of Dharma Dialogues, halfway through the second set of questions asked by Yaksha on the theme of the pillars of wisdom. Last time, we learned where true knowledge comes from. Do you remember?
Yes, Yudhisthira said one becomes learned from Shruti, the act of hearing, which is like a treasure map to wisdom.
Exactly. But reading a map is one thing, undertaking the great journey to find the treasure is another entirely. The Yaksha knew this, so his next question went a step deeper. He wanted to know about not just learning, but achieving. This is what Yaksha asked.
You now know how a man becomes learned. Now tell me, how does one acquire something truly great?
Oh, that's a big question. I guess by working really hard at a job? Or becoming rich and famous?
Well, those are the things many people chase today in our material world. But Yudhishthira's answer pointed to the inner source of all great achievements. He said one word.
Tapas, or Yaksha.
Tapas? I've heard that word. Doesn't it mean something difficult? Like sitting on a rock in the rain, not eating, and simply meditating for way too long?
It can mean that, but its real meaning is much more beautiful. Tapas comes from a root word that means to heat. It's about generating an inner fire through self-discipline and focused energy. It's about saying no to 1,000 small, easy things so that you can say a powerful yes to one great thing. Remember when we heard about Lord Rama giving advice to his brother Bharata on how to be a good king? He listed all those weaknesses to avoid: laziness, anger, getting lost in pleasure, ignoring good advice.
Yes, he listed the 14 weaknesses to avoid. They are atheism, hypocrisy, anger, procrastination, laziness, slavery to the senses, contempt for good advice, lack of vigilance, fondness of ill minded people, impractical planning, inability to keep a secret, attachment for foolish friends, negligence of religious observances, and failure to counter enemies.
Precisely. The daily effort a king like Bharata must make to avoid every single one of those weaknesses, that is a king's tapas. It is the constant, focused discipline that forges a person into a great leader. Greatness isn't an accident, it's a choice, repeated every minute. But tapas isn't just for kings. Let me tell you a funny story about a clever boy named Tenali Raman.
Oh, yes, please. I love stories about him.
Once upon a time, in the town of Tenali, there lived a Brahmin boy named Raman. Tenali Raman knew from the start that he would have to move to the large city of Vijayanagar if he wanted to make something of himself. And so he dreamed of that day. Raman wanted to achieve greatness, so he prayed to the goddess Kali with such focus that she appeared before him. She offered him 2 bowls, one with the milk of wealth and the other with the sour curds of knowledge. Raman, using his wit, leaned towards the bowls, pretending to smell each one, and then swallowed the contents of both. "What have you done?" the goddess cried. "What is the use of being a scholar without wealth?" Raman asked. "And what would be the purpose of having riches without intelligence? I beg your forgiveness if I've made a mistake." Kali was pleased with Raman's honesty and wisdom, and so she blessed him. "You will face many problems," she said, "but you will also receive and offer many gifts." Now, Tenali Raman's journey to greatness didn't stop there. When he went to the capital, the royal advisor who had promised to help him refused. Do you think Raman gave up?
No way! What did he do?
He performed a very clever kind of tapas. He waited for the advisor by the river and jumped on his back, refusing to get off. Then when the angry emperor came, Raman quickly switched places and carried the advisor on his shoulders. The emperor was so impressed by this bold, strange effort that he invited Raman to the palace. So began the days of Tenali Raman's life in the palace. In those days, the emperor regularly visited the jails. One day, 2 of the prisoners begged him to set them free. "Our theft was artful, one of the 64 arts," they argued. "But we will give up our ways and find a new profession if you set us free." "I will test your skills," the emperor said, "and then I shall make my decision. Go to Raman's house and steal his jewels. If you are successful, I will set you free, but make sure you harm no one." That evening, as Raman was tending to his garden, the 2 thieves climbed the compound wall and hid in the bushes, where they carefully studied their surroundings. Raman spotted the men, and he knew just what to do. He pretended he did not know they were there, and he called to his wife, "My dear, come fast and hear the news. 2 convicts have escaped from jail. We should protect our valuables. Let us put them at the bottom of the well." Raman's wife knew her husband was wise, so she immediately agreed. Behind the bushes, the thieves looked with delight at each other. Who would have thought their plan would be this easy? They watched as Raman and his wife lowered a chest to the bottom of the well, and then they waited until they were certain the 2 had gone to sleep. Then the thieves hastened to the well, and while one stood guard, the other slipped inside. "There's too much water," he said. "We have to empty the well." They began to draw water, bucket after bucket, and the yard filled so that Raman's plants were watered. When the well was empty, the thieves climbed in together and carried out the chest Raman had dropped inside. Alas! Inside they discovered only logs.
Oh, so the thieves had to draw all the water out?
Yes! The funny thing is, the thieves ended up doing all the hard physical work, the tapas of emptying a well all night. But because their intention was crooked, their great effort was all wasted. All they managed to do was water Tenali Raman's garden for him. So you see, tapas is about directing your inner heat towards a worthy goal. Without that focus, effort is just sweat. With it, effort becomes greatness. This brings us to our proverb for today. Knowledge shows you the path, but discipline, or tapas, is the fire that lights the way.
I get it now. Tapas isn't about punishment. It's about focus. Like using a magnifying glass to reflect all the sun's warmth on one tiny spot until it becomes hot enough to start a fire.
What a perfect way to see it. You've used your mind to generate your own spark of wisdom. Now let it rest. For tomorrow, we shall ask one final question in this part of the journey. How does one acquire intelligence? Do our little ones have an answer to this? Let us know at dharmadialogues108@gmail.com. Until then, however, good night.